Hi everyone, I'm Megan and this is Beguiled by Books, where I share short book reviews across a wide variety of genres. Today I've got 10 unconventional books that you should read before you die. Let's get started. There are a ton of books out there to read, and I constantly see lists about books to read before you die and authors to read before you die, and all of these things that are supposed to be really profound and impactful. But unfortunately, a lot of times these books were written 100 or 150 years ago or more. And while the themes may be the same, it's getting harder and harder to find those themes as we get farther and farther from the era in which those books were written. So I've got 10 mostly newer books that are potentially a little unconventional that I think carry those themes across really nicely that you should read before you die. The first two books you should read before you die are considered classics. One is Frankenstein and one is Dracula. Both are really great. They were written at the end of the 19th century, early 20th century timeframe, and they are still easy enough to read that the modern person can still absolutely enjoy them and, of course, comprehend and understand and apply the themes that are so strong in those books. There's a reason Frankenstein keeps getting adapted into film and television. There's a reason Dracula keeps getting adapted into film and television. They're classics for a good reason, and the books still really hold up. I've read quite a few other classics recently, and they can be put in the past with the others that are still in the past. That's fine. I think Frankenstein and Dracula definitely hold up, and you should definitely read them before you pass. A very new book that I think will become a classic that you should read before you die is a book called The Women by Kristen Hanna. This book is extremely powerful and takes place during the Vietnam conflict and focuses on the women who were part of that conflict in unsung ways. So the nurses, the combat medics, the women who were caring for the soldiers when they returned from the battlefield. It not only focuses on them during the conflict itself, but also focuses on them upon their return and the welcome or lack thereof they received when they tried to seek assistance and seek counseling and help following their traumatic experiences during Vietnam. Really powerful book, very well written and well researched. It is a book that stays with me. It's really well done and definitely one you should add to your classics list or classics in the making list. A book I humbly believe should be added to the new classics that you should read before you die is The House in the Cerulean Sea. This book is wholesome and it's wonderful and it's sweet and it's cozy, but the underlying themes of prejudice and racism and bigotry are there, but done in such a gentle way. Readers don't really know that they're learning about diversity and equality and inclusion. Powerful, powerful novel, but it's wrapped in a cozy fantasy. Absolutely recommend and definitely something you should read before going on to the next life. A book you should read before you die is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is one of my all-time favorite books. V.E. Schwab is one of my all-time favorite authors. I absolutely love this book, and it should be a classic and something everyone should read before it's too late for a reason. It really deals with themes of mortality and immortality and what to do with the life that's given to us and what happens when that gets altered. Fascinating magical realism novel with a lot of really cool parallels to our current world as humans keep trying to live longer and extend life. And then the question becomes, at what cost? Addie LaRue touches on these things in such an interesting and subtle way that you will be asking yourself these philosophical questions long after you put the book down. A novel to read before you die is The Midnight Library. This book is so quietly powerful. It deals right out of the gate with suicide and mental health, but leads the reader to the story of how you can appreciate what you have while you have it. That is always going to be a theme in humanity. How do we deal with whatever troubles and trials and tribulations we have in the present era? It's such a common theme linking generations of humans together, whatever strife we are facing. This book touches on it in a very, like I said, quietly powerful way, but it's woven so beautifully into this lovely story about life and happiness that you don't even realize that's what the story is about till well after you finish the novel. So definitely read The Midnight Library before you die. A nonfiction book to read before you go is The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. Y'all know Ryan Holiday is one of my favorite nonfiction authors out there. He does great work translating old ancient Greek and Roman Stoic philosophy into modern day problems and solutions. The obstacle of the way is such a key foundation in dealing with modern life with ancient principles. It's great. You will be able to apply this across so many aspects of your life. And it's so powerful that corporations read this book. Major sports teams read this book together and they tackle this so that they can overcome those obstacles they face and really achieve the success and the desired outcomes that they seek. Very short and easy to get through too. So even if you're not a nonfiction reader, it's not a lengthy, dry, boring textbook type book. You'll love it. Definitely read this book. A nonfiction book you should read before you die that is very unconventional, but I think very powerful is a book called The Color of Money. And this book is all about the Black banks that really helped the economy and helped Black Americans get on their feet at a time when regular banks would not bank them. This is really powerful from an economic standpoint, and more people need to understand how this very small subset of banks in our country has affected the economy and how it helps its citizens grow and prosper in ways that are often not spoken about. So definitely read The Color of Money. It will change your opinion on banking and change your opinion on underserved communities and how they are banked. A memoir that you should read before you die is called Educated. This got a ton of hype when it was first published, and it was well-deserved hype. Educated is a memoir of the author's experience growing up in a very secluded, isolated, fundamentalist family and what happens when she has the opportunity to go to college and then graduate school and then even on to Cambridge, Oxford for additional studies and additional degrees, and how her whole life is turned upside down. Her whole belief system is altered by the opportunity of education, and why education is such a powerful tool to help people find out who they are and who they want to be. It's a beautifully told story. It's a powerful message and definitely going to be one of the new classics. A very unconventional nonfiction book that you should read before you die is a book called Jobs to Be Done. I encountered this book years ago at my job, and this philosophy has really stayed with me. And to be less than humble, I think it's made me pretty successful. The premise of Jobs to Be Done is asking why someone has chosen to hire you for a particular job or your company for a particular contract or whatever, but why you are doing the thing that you're doing, to really get to the root of it and do the best job you can and make sure you're doing the job that is needed, not necessarily the job that was asked, which is a key difference. It's going to help make you powerful in your career. It's going to help you gain authority where you need it in the areas that you're an expert in. And it's going to help you make really good decisions in your personal life as well. When should you spend money on this versus that? When should you take this trip versus that trip? When should you go here and not there? All of those types of things, this Jobs to Be Done framework will absolutely help you in every aspect of your life. And while it's not super popular, I definitely think it's going to be a classic one day. What are some books that you think are going to be the new classics that folks should read before they die? Drop a comment below and please let me know. As always, if you like this video, if you've got a book you want to read, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Please also don't forget to sign up for my upcoming course that I'm launching in 2025 on how to improve your life through books without having to read the books. Sign up below and I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day.